Hello, hello, my lovely Leos. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina, and we got the fault line, the box, the mountain, the kiss, and the vision. Please, please, please give me a like, share, and subscribe if this resonates with you. I'm just getting started, and any of your support is greatly appreciated and very, very helpful. Okay, so Leos, the fault line, the box, the mountain, the vision, and the kiss. I feel like really and truly we've just been coming out of this energy of feeling like the confinement and the never ending, just like one thing after another after another, and every time something goes wrong, we feel like we are more confined than we were before. And yet, with all of this confinement, with all of this, the fault line is just kind of the idea of like one crack after another crack after another crack after another crack until finally you have cracked. You know what I mean? And you needed to go within and understand your value and discover your own worth, because I think that there's just this idea of like what value do I have? And Leos, we come with just this like natural element of confidence. And I think about, functioning mental illness, right? And Leos, we are prime candidates for that, because it's just kind of this idea of like I take too much pride in the way that I look. I don't want people to know that things are falling apart, and because I don't want people to know, I just keep finding myself more and more, like confined in my own personal issues, and when you feel locked in your bad, it's hard to understand your good. And so I think that there's just kind of this idea of like being buried beneath something until it breaks, like a geode. I think like a geode, you know what I mean? Like, and it's buried beneath all of it, and it's dirty, and it's not that pretty, and then you break it open, and then you're like, holy shit, this is beautiful, right? And I feel like that's kind of where you've been, Leo, is like you're the sun, and you come in with confidence, and you come in with enthusiasm, and people are drawn to you because you can offer life, but you can also burn the shit out of some people. You know what I mean? Like it just kind of depends. Like there are like pasty people can't be in the sun. You know what I mean? Like they have to protect themselves from it. Whereas, there are entire, civilizations that are of the sun. And I feel like you have just kind of been in a state of burning people instead of nourishing them, right? And this journey of understanding like there is value. You like there is a need for you. There is like you do have value. You do have purpose. And I want to say just kind of allowing yourself the opportunity to really become intimate with that purpose, intimate with the value that you have to really, create what it is that you want to create. And Leo's, we're big picture people, right? It's just kind of like a Leo thing. Like I can, like if I'm going to do all the little things down here, I have to be able to see it. If I can't see it, it's not happening. I'm not doing it anyways. It might happen for somebody else, but not for me, right? Because it's not something that I can envision. But if I can see it, then I can direct my light, my attention, my enthusiasm toward that thing. And I want to say like bring life to it. And I feel like you've been in a state of like scorching and creating death and really having to kind of like find your value. Okay. Whew. Yes. What else can we get for y'all? Hope everyone is doing well. Knight of Cups. Eight of Swords. I don't know what that is. Can't see. Okay. The Fool. Yeah, Leo, I feel like you really had to kind of face your fears and face yourself and rediscover your value. And I feel like once you did, you were really able to, I want to say, just like move towards your passion with a higher level of enthusiasm. Um, and I want to say, Leos, you can be on either side of the story, and oftentimes you are on both sides of the story. um, but it's just kind of this idea that sometimes we have to face our fears. Leos, part of being a leader is facing the fears that other people aren't willing to face, and overcoming those fears. And not only does that free you to go towards your vision and your passion, I think that it also frees others to go toward their value and their passion, right? I feel like there is an element of like leading people into new understandings of themselves. Okay. Let's get more clarifiers. The glass to teach. So, the Ten of Swords, the Hermit, the Hierophant, and the Four of Swords. I kind of want to put this with the idea of the fault line in the box because it's just this idea of the ending. I mean, the Blast of Beach is the Tower in traditional tarot, and I feel like there's just kind of this idea of like doing a massive purge. Like cutting away with all of the confusion. Because the confusion is what it's like the fog. I mean, like if anybody's ever experienced PTSD or like just anything of that nature, there's a fog that kind of occurs. Like you experience memory loss, you experience confusion. Like there are like physical symptoms of things like that. So when you experience a lot of trauma, when you experience a massive ending, there's an idea of there just being a lot of confusion that accompanies that, right? And so I feel like Leo's what you're doing is really emerging from this state of confusion, of endings, and coming out with this like higher level of knowledge of self, that enables you to act as both student and teacher, right? Because there's just this idea of like, I feel like Leo's it is this idea of like, I am on both sides of this story. I am learning and I am teaching. I am understanding myself as I understand others. I am liberating myself and in turn liberating others. I feel like there's just this idea of like a big picture of all of the things. Okay, Leo. What else can we get? Let's go. Three of Cups. And yeah, the idea of celebration. An idea of, I feel like just like this. Let's get more clarified. What are we celebrating? Two of Swords. Making a decision. Leos, I do feel like there was this idea in one of your recent reads of people not really totally understanding like what your goal is and what is it that you're really trying to do? What is it that you're really trying to accomplish? And I feel like there's this idea of like of a clarity of really understanding like, no, I went within, I parted ways with the confusion that came, um, from all of the like the endings and the confining situations. And I really I pulled away and I worked on myself to gain understanding of what it is that I really want, to become intimate with my vision. And I decided to, kind of set forth on this new journey, on this new beginning. Um, and Leos, I feel like there's just kind of this sense of releasing what was and moving into what is, but just almost like it feels very like a smooth transition. It feels like a I don't know why it feels smooth, but it doesn't feel tumultuous. Even though there are cards here that would indicate, like a state of tumultuous existence. I feel like the message here is that you faced it. You went within. You made a decision to face your fears, to go towards your new beginning, to understand that you are constantly learning and evolving. The more you learn, the more you learn that you need to learn more. And part of that was just a clearing away of the confusion and developing an intimacy of value, and combining that with vision, which I love, Leos. It's not really like big in terms of actions that are occurring or, like anything of that nature, but I do feel like maybe it's just this sincere release, because Leos, we have had in our reads a lot lately, just kind of this idea of like clearing out an energy that no longer suits us. Um, and here was the poet. And I want to say, like again, I love that because it feels smooth, like you think about like poetry that drips down over you, and it's just kind of like this idea of poetry taking the darkness and turning it into something beautiful, right, Leos? And I feel like that's where you are. You're like, I have emerged from the darkness, intimately aware of what I want, where my value lies, and how I can take all of this and turn it into something beautiful. Celebrating that opportunity with new beginnings. Love. I hope this resonates, Leo. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you're interested in diving in a little bit deeper and getting a personal read, those are 45 minutes long. This gives us an opportunity to dive into the past, present, and future energies and have any questions that you have concerning that. If this is where we part ways, thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.